There is one template that I really like it, and I called it debugging myself. Just like we can debug our applications, we can debug ourselves too. It's actually easy. The template will help us to identify our weaknesses and will give us time to think about it and to fix our bugs and to improve them actually. We only need to ask ourselves 4 different questions. What's my strength in? Is what others thinks of what's my bug or weaknesses? Everyone has a bug. The last question is, how can I fix my bug? Let's see all of this in action. Let's debug our communication skills. I am guilty. I am guilty, and I am here today to confess to all of you. But don't worry at all, because I haven't committed any crime, at least not yet, not for now, maybe later. But I'm guilty of forgetting one of the most important aspects of our jobs, our daily jobs, the human aspects. Sometimes all of us, we get caught into, I don't know, maybe doing some debugging or working on some task or maybe designing some stuff for our client, that we forgot that we are not only working with codes, but we're also working with humans. I am guilty of that. I'm guilty of overlooking these aspects of jobs. But let me explain myself better. Right now I need your help. They told me that most of the participants of this conference, they come from outside Italy. Please, would you please shout out the country you come from? Shout out, please. Where? Italy. Italy, no, outside Italy. I want someone outside Italy. Where? Sweden, perfect. Germany. Right now, let's do another try. Is there anybody here from outside Europe? Raise your hand if you're from outside Europe. No? No? Okay. I personally come from Iran originally, but I live here in Italy for many years now, so I am adopted somehow. Anyhow, if you notice, there are amazing people here among us. And there is something that all of us have in common. No matter where we come from, there is something that all of us we are having in common. And that's, we are all humans. But being human doesn't mean necessarily that we understand each other perfectly. And that's the real challenge, right? Knowing we are human is something, but knowing how to communicate and how to interact with other human beings is something totally different. Before dive into this subject, I want to make things clear for all of you guys. I want to be clear that this speech is not going to be a typical speech. This is not going to be a typical sponsor speech. I promise you guys, I'm not going to talk about them. Not at all. I promise again that I'm not going that they are hiring some humans and they are outside here. And again, they are having amazing quiz with amazing gifts that all of you can participate. And maybe you can win the amazing gifts that we have. But I'm not going to talk about them at all. Because this speech actually is not about them. This speech is about humans. This speech is about us. This speech is about you. Not them, but you. Is that clear to everyone? Is that clear? Perfect. Now that everything is clear between us, let's move on. Let's jump back into our topic. Why we must learn about humans. Let me tell you a mind-blowing secret, a secret that will give you all goosebumps. It will give me goosebumps. I don't know, maybe it's working only on me. The users that are using your application, the application that you develop, are 100% human. Your boss at work is 100% human. At least my boss, I think he's a human. He's right here, I think. Your coworkers are 100% human. And you are 100% human. If you pay attention, guys, we are surrounded by humans. And if we don't understand, how to communicate with them, and how to be in contact with them, it means that we have a gap in our communication and in our life. And from this gap will rise misunderstanding, miscommunication, missed opportunities. And to fill this gap, we need to learn about humans and their skills. So we need to learn about humans' skills. As humans, we are all social animals. We need to interact. We need to be in contact with each other. We need to communicate with each other. These are not just our desire. These are our essential part of who we are as humans. And the most important part of it is communication. So what is communication? Communication is how we share, connect, and understanding each other. Communication is not a skill, one skill. It's a set of interconnected skills. It's a basket of different skills that we are all have to be a good communicator. The skills like self-awareness, speaking, listening, clarity, empathy, and so on. The list is really, really long. If we want to communicate better, guys, we need to get better at all of these things, this list. You know why? The reason actually is simple. Because imagine that you are good at what you do at this level. You are really good developer or good I don't know, maybe a designer or maybe a leader. But if your communication skill is at this level, this level is how people will see you, not this one, okay? But the good news is, if you fill this gap and work on your communication skill and improve your communication skills and bring it to the same level of how you are good at what you do, only at this point, people will see the real you. Okay? So this is the main reason. This is important. As you can see, guys, the list is long, and I'm not going to talk about them. To talk about all of them because it is getting boring. No. Instead, let's jump right into one of the most important one. Self-awareness. Self-awareness will give us power. Sometimes to achieve it, we need to dig inside. And when we dig inside, we don't like what we see. But remember, guys, there is a comfort in knowing ourselves. There are tons of research out there that shows that self-aware people, they are more creative. They are having stronger relationships. They are more confident. They are better at communication. They're less likely to lie or cheat or steal. They perform better at work. They are more effective leaders. And they are more promotable. That's something that interests many of you. Increasing your self-awareness will help you not only to find the best path for your career, but also become a better communicator. How? How we can get better at the self-awareness? How we can get more aware? Actually, there are many different ways that you can do it. But there's one template that I really like it, and I called it debugging myself. Just like we can debug our applications, we can debug ourselves too. It's actually easy. The template will help us to identify our weaknesses and will give us time to think about it and to fix our bugs and to improve them actually. To debug ourselves, we only need ask ourselves 4 different questions. The first question is, what's my strength in? This question is for knowing ourselves. Simple, honest, self-assessment question. Maybe in programming language we call it knowing my code. The second question is, what others thinks of my? This question is about how other people sees us. And believe me, guys, sometimes when you talk to people, it will surprise you because it's completely different what you think of yourself and what other people thinks of you. The third question is, what's my bug or weaknesses? This question is about knowing your weaknesses. Identify the area for improvement. Everyone has a bug. And it's not related only to codes. Also us, as humans, we have bugs. In our daily job, these questions means knowing the bug of our code. Now we need to understand it on ourselves. The last question is, how can I fix my bug? This question is about action and acceptance of our weaknesses. The weakness that you want to improve, and you need to do some actions about it. Let's see all of this in action. Let's make an example. Let's say we want to work on our communication skills. Let's debug our communication skills. Maybe you might think that you are really good. You are really good at explaining technical concepts, like our friends over there. But when you ask for feedback from other people, often they tell you that you're using too many technical terms. Now you have enough information for yourself to find your bug. Maybe it's because you assume that people will understand all the technical terms that you use, right? But now that you have the bug, you want to resolve it. So maybe you will try to using analogies or similes or similar languages when explaining new things to other people. Okay? This is an easy way can debug yourself, and we can improve our behaviors. Remember, guys, creating new branches of these changes in our daily life and fix small communication bugs and like push it back to the main branch. Actually, it will help you to become better communicator and become more aware of yourself. Guys, so far we have talked about how to become a better communicator by debugging ourselves, and how we can make changes starting with ourselves. This making changes and starting with ourselves will remind me of Rumi. Once he said, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world, but today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself." That's why we start with ourselves. Knowing yourself, your strengths and your weaknesses can have huge positive impact on how you interact with others. Now that we learn about self-awareness, let's talk about another interconnected skills of communications: empathy. Consider like all the fears that you have had at your job. For example, maybe you had a fear of judgment because you wanted maybe ask a stupid question and you actually you didn't because it seems stupid and you fear that people judge you. Or maybe you hide a mistake, you make a mistake and you hide it. If you guys experience all of these emotions, you need to remember that the humans around you, they share the same feelings. When we recognize that other people suffer alongside us, we start to train the mind in compassion. And now, maybe you guys ask, what's with this photo with empathy? To be honest, there is no reason that I use this photo. I only liked it and I wanted this empty space, so just I put big Ryan Reynolds over there. It's nice. Now let's back to our topic. How we can create a workplace full of empathy? The answer is simple. The answer is you. Everything, remembers, everything starts with you. You can start to share. By acknowledging and sharing your own vulnerabilities, you create an environment where other people feel safe to express their concerns and their challenges. Some people might think that they must be a macho at work, and showing vulnerability means that you're naive. And maybe others could take advantage of you. But having empathy at work means if you need, you can share your vulnerabilities. This practice of sharing and supporting doesn't just help others, it's also allow you to go to and to see beyond the surface, beyond the surface to the human experience and emotion that influence our colleagues. By doing this sharing, we will become more effective at communicating and collaborating with others because people feel safe and people come to you and people will talk to you. And that's something we need in our daily job. Guys, here I'm not asking you to just like share the secret of your life, okay? But you can, for example, start with something really simple. Maybe the day you had fear to ask the stupid questions, but you did it anyway. And that stupid question helped the production and helped the application a lot. You can start with that. Share your fear with others. We have learned so far that being self-aware and empathetic are crucial first step to become a good communicator. But they are not enough because even if we understand ourselves and can see things from others' perspective, there's still a gap. How do we explain things in a way that truly makes sense? That's where understanding and clarity comes in. Guys, let me ask you a question. Would you talk to like your 65 years old colleague in the same way that you talk with the Gen Z? The answer is no. You don't communicate at the same time because their experiences, their expectation, and even the way they process information, they are different. Remember, it's not just what you say, but it's how you say it. It's important. How? How we can communicate with clarity. Understanding who you are communicating with is the first step to the clarity. Once you have that understanding, the next step is to make your message relatable. I had this amazing conversation with my grandpa the other day. He just came to me and he said, Sattar, what are you doing? You are all the time with your computer and you're playing with computer. I said, Uh, no, Grandpa, I'm not playing. I'm just working. I am a developer. He wasn't convinced at all. He thought I was lying. But anyway, he was curious at the same time. He asked me, developer, what's that even mean? And immediately I thought that I have my grandpa in front of me who is like really old. And I cannot talk to him and say something like this, like, well, I work with programming languages like Java and Kotlin to design and build Android application. I write the code that tells the app how to function, from building users input and managing data to connecting with servers through the APIs. If I would give that answer to my grandpa, it would just make him more confused, and he would say, "Ma che cavolo dici?" And that for those who don't understand means, "What the heck are you talking about?" So I took a different approach. I completely changed the way of thinking of myself. By the way, guys, he's not my grandpa. He is. He's my grandpa. Nah, he's not. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's back to us. So, to answer the question of my grandpa, I just told him I use analogy, metaphor, and simile method, and I told him, you know how a builder makes sure that the apartment, the house, has a solid foundation, the walls are stable, and the rooms are arranged so people can move around easily? I am a builder too, but instead of building apartments, I'm building application that you can use on your phone, like the one you used exactly today to call me. I built foundation, rooms and walls just like a builder, but instead of using bricks, I use digital bricks and we call them code. He was less confused. He was less confused, and he just nodded and said, yeah, so you're not playing with your computer, you're working. Now take a pause and have a coffee right now. That conversation ended like this, but the important aspect is that I use analogy, metaphor, and similes. Here I have connected something that he didn't know to something he already knew. Here I have connected a noun to the noun. I have connected being an Android developer, which is unknown to him, to building a house, which is known to him. And that's how you can create clarity and understanding. So far, guys, we have talked about three essential communication skills. We started by understanding ourselves through the self-awareness. Then we added empathy to our conversation because emotions are what makes us humans. Then we learned how to be clear and relatable by connecting a noun to noun. Now, let's dive into another crucial skills. And that skill is listening. Without it, we cannot truly understand what's being said or knowing how to respond it effectively. What is listening? The question is that. Listening is not only nodding to what other says, but it's when the other person feels heard. Simon Sinek says, listening is not the act of hearing the words spoken, but it's the art of understanding the meaning behind the words. There are many human skills that have direct effect on our listening skills. To be a good listener, you need to be curious. You need to ask questions. You need to be active, and you need to use your body languages. And to use your body languages, you need to learn Italian. But no, that's not true. That's another stupid joke. Right now here, guys, I need a volunteer. I need someone from the audience who just who could explain to me one unpleasant experience in 1 minute, not more. In 1 minute, explain to me one unpleasant experience that they had at work. Who volunteers? Is there anyone here who want to talk to me? Sorry? No? It could be anything. It could be also something like you invented right now. Just use your imagination. I need someone here. You're okay? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, perfect.
This isn't mine, but it's from a person I know, someone close to me, so I won't make
Okay.
names. So this person, it was years ago. Now the scenario on job with HR and stuff like that is changed. But this person basically made a joke that would be considered appropriate today. It wasn't made with malice. But the person who heard the joke found it distasteful and reported him not to HR because, as I said, there wasn't yet, especially here in Italy, but reported to our superiors.
To the HR, yeah. I understand.
It was a misunderstanding, obviously, but that caused some trouble, some resentment, stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. Just hold on a second here. Guys, if you noticed, when he was talking to me, I was checking my phone, I was impatient, and I wasn't even listening, to be honest, okay? And that's the reason that I told you that you need to use your body language also when you talk to someone. Now let's start over, please. Start over. Let's start over.
Were you really not listening?
I didn't listening. I didn't listening at all. I was playing with my phone and I was impatient. Okay. Let's start over.
So this person I know, I want to say like even decades ago, said a joke which could be considered distasteful today. There wasn't even HR, but the person who heard that joke found it gross, so to say. Funnily, you can find it on Family Guy. Joke you can find Family Guy. When I heard it, it was. When I heard it on the show, it was I was like, I can't believe it. That's something that happened to this person.
Yeah.
And he reported to their superiors. Obviously, the joke wasn't done with malice, but obviously it caused some attrition on the workspace.
Yeah, I completely understand. I think maybe your colleague who was offended by this joke
It
was.
wasn't my colleague. There are other people.
Okay.
No, I'm not joking. It's
Yeah, maybe those people are offended because maybe for them and for their culture was harsh.
Yeah.
That was. I completely understand because I come also from different cultures, so sometimes I have the same problems now. But it's completely understand. And did the HR do their job and they
reprimanded the person, but they understood that it wasn't done.
It wasn't unintentional, yeah.
It wasn't done with. It was done with.
To
be friendly.
Yeah. But maybe he just crossed the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
The person crossed the line.
Okay.
It's someone I care about, but even I admit.
Okay, it was funny.
It was mostly he was doing. How would you say? Someone who's goofy, so to say.
Yeah.
It was a goof.
Okay. I understand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your participation. Again, Okay. So you guys noticed the difference between the first time that he explained to me the problem and the second time? Actually, it was all in different skills that I used at the same time when we talked. I asked him some questions. I understand the feeling behind these questions, okay? And this is actually, I pay attention also with my body language. I was fully aware of this conversation. This is actually how you can listen. So I listen with all of my body, not only by nodding. And I think my friends felt heard and felt that this conversation was a positive conversation. Good. Thank you so much again for being part of this journey. Successful listening is when the other person feels heard, exactly like this conversation we had. My last words are for you guys, all of you, to all my Flow developers. Remember, technical skills are essential, but the human skills are often what differentiate a good developer from a great one. In conclusion, the human skills are not something we have in us, but it's something that we can practice and get good at it. Carry with you the awareness that every interaction involves a human connection. The secret sauce of what makes everything works is us, just being our human selves. Remember, behind each line of codes, behind each user stories on Jira, there is a human. Behind each design file that we receive on Figma, there is a human. Behind each line of code that we develop or other people develop, there is a human. And those all are the humans among us. Hello, everybody. My name is Sattar, and I am a human. Thank you for listening.
Quality. Thank you, Sattar. That was that was wonderful. Yeah, thank you for that. That was. I think it's really important that like conferences like this, where all we hear about is code, Lambda functions, all these things, that we have something that reminds us of the humanity. Sorry, globbing onto your thing there, but it was really, really cool. Right, we're going to do a couple of questions.
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to look at the phone first for the online questions, but whilst I'm looking again, please feel free, if you're in the green room, to stand up.